Hey guys, Arctic here, bringing you guys a gameplay commentary with the TRG SE and the Carbon 15. And today I kind of want to talk about something that I know may get a little hate, and I've been doing that recently. I'm doing some videos that people are gonna hate on, but you know, it's all right because truthfully, it needs to be said so it could open some people's eyes. You know what I mean? People don't like to hear the truth. So yeah, okay, let's move on. So I want to talk about what is overpowered, because overpowered is something that people like to throw out the window and don't really understand when to use the word and when not to use the word, right? Now, a lot of the time people will use the overpowered as in, what's overpowered? The first thing that comes to your mind, something like the Orthus, something like the Legion, right? But for me, I don't classify those weapons as the normal sense of overpowered. Yeah, sure, they are definitely overpowered, right? But when talking about a weapon that is overpowered, I don't think they should be the first thing that's brought to mind, because a weapon that's overpowered, I feel, is something that is too good for the class that it is in. Legion, Orthus are demonic weapons. They're supposed to be ridiculously good. They're not overpowered demonic weapons, because if they're overpowered demonic weapons, they'd be demonic weapons that are way better than all the rest of them, right? So an overpowered weapon for me would be, you know, like if the Legion was a regular assault rifle, you know, it was a GP assault rifle, then the Legion would be definitely overpowered. But in demonic weapons, it's about where it should be, you know what I mean? So weapons that I definitely feel are overpowered and that I always block from my rooms are things like the I really don't block the M416 CQB that much. I do sometimes, but usually I don't block it anymore because it has been nerfed by Nexon. But things like the G36E and the P90TR are not allowed in my rooms. Epics and rares aren't either, just because it keep people with rare. A team full of rares is going to beat a team full of GP, or that kind of thing. But I'm not saying not all epics and rares are amazing. There's some epics and rares that I feel are bad, but yeah, epics and rares I do keep out. But my main point today is to talk about things as in the P90TR and the G36E. Now, a lot of people will argue that the G36E is not overpowered, but truthfully, if you use this weapon, I don't really care what you think wise if it's overpowered or not, unless you're like unbiased, because so many people use a gun and then will claim it's not overpowered. I'm using the TRG SE right now, and I can say that yes, this gun is overpowered, you know what I mean? Because sure, snipers, I have a hard time saying snipers are overpowered, truthfully, because you still have to aim and shoot. I didn't just spray it and it gave me that shot, you know what I mean? You still have to aim and shoot, but compared to other snipers, it does hit more, you know what I mean? So you can definitely say it's more powerful, or it's better, but it's hard for me to say snipers are overpowered. But you can definitely say the TRG SE is overpowered, right? You can say that, definitely. But weapons like the G36E, people have trouble with saying it's overpowered. And people say that, it's not overpowered, it's just the best weapon in its class, is that kind of thing. Well, the best weapon in its class is probably going to be overpowered. It's going to have more power than everything else in the class. A lot of people will argue for things that they use all the time to not be overpowered because they don't want to be considered someone who uses something that is overpowered. No one ever wants to be put in that role. But for me, I think something that is overpowered is something that is better than anything else in the class and doesn't really fit in with what's in the class. Guys, the argument over if G36 is overpowered has gone on a long time, and I know a lot of you guys who most of you probably use it all the time. It's best to admit that yes, I use a gun that is slightly overpowered and is better than a lot of GP weapons, but there are NX weapons that can beat it, definitely, right? But G36E, right? I mean, the Valkyrie, I would say, isn't overpowered because you put it in an NX standard, you match it with other NX standards. But the G36E, I say, is definitely overpowered, even though they're the same thing. I say would definitely be overpowered, considering that it can still be any GP weapon, you know what I mean? And you get it so early, it's just a go-to, you know what I mean? That's all you need to do well. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this commentary. I brought you guys a lot of commentaries over the last few days just because I've had some time off. But yeah, definitely, guys, hope you liked this commentary. I hope it didn't hurt your feelings too much. Arctic, signing out.